Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Pragmata. Now for those who have never heard of Pragmata, let me tell you. Pragmata is an action-adventure game in this sci-fi world where you play as a character named Hugh, and he's accompanied by a girl who's also an android named Diana. Now, full disclaimer, I've only played the game on Switch 2, which honestly is the reason why I'm making this video. The Switch 2 version of this game runs so good, and it looks amazing too. Obviously there are some cutbacks, like when you see Diana's hair, it's a little not as smooth as you would see on the PlayStation 5, but my goodness, the fact that this game runs at a smooth 60 frames, it can dip a little bit when combat can get really hectic, but for the most part this game runs so smooth. Now, I've personally tried a few demos of like Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2, and a couple of others that, they run great on the platforms that they originally came on, but then on the Switch 2, obviously there's some cutbacks and stuff that they have to do in order to get the game running well on Switch 2. But here, this seems like the best port that I've seen so far. I've heard Cyberpunk 2077 runs really good on the Switch and looks good too. I've only seen footage of that one, but here getting hands-on with the game, specifically with the demo version of this game, wow. This game is a looker, and it plays so well. Pragmata is developed by Capcom, so if you see similarities to like Resident Evil with the gunplay, there's a reason for that. Because yeah, I mean, it's basically sci-fi Resident Evil, except it's not really scary and it's more action oriented. And I love that. I'm not really a sci-fi person myself, but I am drawn to this game because the gameplay, the actual gunplay of the game just feels so good. And that's what I like about the new Resident Evil games. They feel so good to play, but Pragmata does some different things with its gameplay. Now, before we get into the gameplay of Pragmata, I do want to say that I had no intention on ever playing this game, unless it came as a demo form. I don't know, just nothing about it in the trailers just clicked with me. I saw this hacking system and I thought it was really complicated and convoluted and just unnecessary for a game like this. But then they announced a demo and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. What's the harm? And I wanted to try the Switch 2 version because who knows, maybe this would actually run well on Switch 2. And I didn't expect it to run well. I seriously did not expect this game to run well, just because, I don't know, I'm still hesitant on getting these kinds of games on the Switch 2 because they just look and play better on other consoles. That's just the way that it is. And it's the same here. However, it still looks and plays fantastic. So yeah, I got the demo and I can't put this thing down. I cannot wait for the full release of this game now. I went from not even having this game on my radar because I instantly looked at it. I was like, it's sci-fi. Also, it just doesn't look like my thing. I'm just gonna, pass this one. To now, I am fully on board with this game. I can't wait to play the full version. And this is what demos are for. And mind you, demos can make or break a game. Sometimes demos can show you that a game is not that good or as good as you thought it was going to be. But then you have demos like this where it completely changes your mind and you're like, oh, I want to play more of this. And that's what this game essentially does. It doesn't place you at the very beginning of the game. It kind of skips forward a little bit. It kind of gives you an expository message at the beginning. And it still seems like it's at the beginning somewhere because Hugh and Diana's relationship still feels fresh and new. Like they're still trying to get to know each other and all that stuff. And Hugh and Diana's relationship feels pretty good. I will say it's hard because of the demo to tell the full scope of the relationship and how it's going to grow throughout. But it definitely feels like the father-daughter archetype that we've seen in games like Last of Us and God of War with Kratos and Atreus. Just kind of that father and child relationship. And while you do see a little bit of that in the demo, I'm sure you'll get the full scope in the full game. Alright, let's talk about the combat. Each encounter with an enemy has you hacking into their systems to deal more damage, and depending on how well you do or what nodes you pick throughout the hacking system, the more damage you can deal. This is why I'm glad that they released a demo, because it's so hard to explain how this game works and how the hacking system plays into the overall gunplay. Because when I first saw footage of this game, I saw the little hacking system that you have to do in order to take down enemies, and I just thought that looked so cumbersome. Like, look at this. This already just looks so complicated for a game where you could just, I don't know, just shoot the guy in the head. But here in Pragmata, all the enemies are going to be AI robots. So the idea of hacking into their systems and revealing weaknesses of theirs to exploit with your guns, honestly, it's kind of addicting. And you can also collect these little nodes, these little enhancements that you can add to the little hacking system. And the demo gave you a couple different power-ups like these. Like there's one in particular that if you use it during your hacking system, it will reveal weaknesses for multiple enemies instead of just one. And then there's another one that if you include into your hacking coordinates or whatever, it will deal even more damage to that enemy once you hit their weak points. It's just stuff like that. It sounds complicated the way I'm explaining it because, again, it's hard to convey why this game is so dang good. Being able to play the demo right now, if you really wanted to, is so great. And that's kind of what I'm here to tell you to do. There are multiple weapon types too. There's your standard grip gun, which is basically like a pistol with 6 shots that reload over time. There's a shotgun that you can get that deals a ton of damage, especially if you hack the enemy's weak points and reveal those weaknesses and then just pull out the shotgun and just blow that sucker up. Not only is it insanely satisfying, but also just packs a punch. There's also some support weapons, like this one that encapsulates enemies in this little bubble. That way you can go and hack their systems and deal more damage to them. On top of the weapon variety, you can also dodge, and if you dodge at the right time, you can also slow down time for a bit. I know I sound like a broken record, but this game is just so fast and fluid. I can't get over it. On top of the combat encounters, you also have some platforming elements too, which is something I didn't expect. I mean, they showed a little bit in trailers here and there, but being able to platform to different hidden areas and collect this game's currency was honestly really fun. The platforming itself, you can jump, use your jetpack a little bit to hover, and it all feels so good. I can't express how good this game feels to play. I'm the type of person who is really sensitive to like feedback, the slight movement animations. For some reason, I'm kind of sensitive to those things. But here in Pragmata, this game plays excellent. I'm just addicted to how this game plays. Now, like I said, platforming feels great, and also the level design seems to be pretty linear for the most part, with some occasional exploration. This is one section in the demo that felt really good finding, and it kind of added this nice little platforming challenge that you had to do to get to these rewards. Now, I don't really know what the currency does in the game, but if it does amount to anything good, like maybe some different armor types or whatever, we're in for a treat. Gosh, I really don't know what else to say about this game. I mean, the demo portion kind of takes you throughout this little story portion of the game up until like a boss battle. And the boss battle is really fun, really cool. There's some really cool like cinematic stuff you can do with that boss fight. But I think at the end of the day, this just goes to show that demos really can change people's minds and perspective on a game. This, like I said, completely changed my mind from I'm probably never going to touch this game to now I want to buy it day one on the Nintendo Switch 2. And as someone who loves their Nintendo Switch 2, I normally don't go for these types of games on the Switch 2 because it is not the best experience for the most part. However, with this game, because it plays so smooth and it still looks really good on the Switch 2, I'm going to pick it up on that platform. And I cannot wait to get my hands on the full version. Capcom, you really did it. You really made Resident Evil in space. And you know what? It's pretty amazing. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Pragmata. Have you tried out the demo yet? Or are you like me and just kind of stayed clear away from this game because it doesn't seem like your cup of tea? Let me know down in the comments below. I encourage everyone to at least try this demo because it really changed my mind. Also, play the Monster Hunter 3 demo because that's also really good. So with that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. God bless.